Okay, good morning. This is my old Fiat Ducato key fob. As you can see, it's all worn, knackered, and yeah, just useless actually. But it still worked. But it was the key was hanging out. This key was just flopping about. So I thought, I've done a new one, and I watched a video on doing it, but I thought I'd do a little bit more in depth on how this thing goes back together. Okay, and comes apart, because I was thinking, how the hell do you get this key out? Now, very quickly, to get this key out, once you've got to this part, so everything's on tags, you've got little tags everywhere. To get this key out of here, what you do is you push the key fob button underneath. You see where grimy it is. Okay, so if you push that up, that button, okay, it takes some doing. And then grab this little bit here, you can turn it and out comes. Now don't worry about that, that's all right. You turn it and then your key pops out. Okay, then down there is a spring. The spring fits inside your key. Oh, cat. All right, so if you look now on the end of that spring, see that? There's a little tiny tag. That tag has to go in that little hole there. And don't panic, because you can do it. And what you do is you pop it back in there. See, can you see that? No, you break out, hold on. Come on, camera, autofocus. Come on. Oh, nearly. Let me just move that, see if I got something else dropped in it. Like a cat. Right. And there we go. So see that now is just in place. And what you do then, it takes a little bit of doing, but you've got to put attention on it. And that's by bringing the spring over the top. And you do that a couple of turns. And then hold it into position. You can do it, it is quite forward, and then you push that pin back, and that holds the key back where it was. See those two little notches? So when you flick the button, this lifts and lets the key free, and then the key goes around. Okay, so once you've done all this, you'd leave it in that position, and then you start putting the rest back together. The other thing I'm going to point out is as well, oh, there's another spring as well. Where are we? So this little spring, this is your spring that actually gives the spring to your push button. So that spring there, okay? That's, yeah. And then when you put your case back together, and there's one more thing that I come across which I found was a bit awkward. So now we've got the battery holder. And with this one, you've got a little tiny screw head there. And what that does, that just turns only about a quarter of a turn, and then it unhooks. Let me just show you if I've done it the wrong way. I think that's right. There we go. So a quarter of a turn, and then this pops out. But remember, if you want to get it out after you put it back in, you've got to push these two pins down, otherwise you're going to bend them. Now this comes new with your key fob. All right. So once you got past that mark, this pops out. And just remember which way round the battery goes in, and there you go. So you want the battery positive side up. Otherwise your key fob won't work. So you need the battery with the positive on this positive here. To put it back in again, there's a little debris on the back end of that, see him? There. So he goes in like so. Just push it in the back end. There it is. Push the key fob down. Not the key fob, the holder, and then that should lock into position. and that locks your key in. Okay, ain't grimy, innit? Done some work though. And then what you do then, you put everything back together again, but do that last. That's the last thing to do. All right, is the key fob. Now, there's plenty of videos on there about these key fobs and how you do them. That's why I haven't done a full one. I just thought I'd do a bit more in-depth one on the troubleshooting side of it. So once all that's together, and this, they just fit back together. They should fit back together. Let me just see if I can do that. There we go. That's it. And then they just push, for the new one, just pushes back in like so. And it locks. You see, mine's sloppy because this isn't this rubbish. This is just a cheapy bit. And then when you release, it comes out. Alright, that's it really. And then you just put the case back on when you're finished. That case goes back on that bit. And then, let me zoom out a little bit. And then you pop your battery in, like so. Tighten him up. Close that up. You put your rubber back on, which all just pushes in. And then finally you've got a screw that goes in here. And then you put your case on. And that's your key fob done. If you found this informative, just give it a thumbs up. That would be great. I just thought I'd do a bit more in-depth on because sometimes when you take them apart, they just fly. And you're thinking, how the hell does that go back together? There we go. All right, take care. Catch you in the next one. I just thought I'd add that you can actually take out the button completely by just pushing it through underneath. So you just put it back in, so you can put the tension on your key with that out the way. It does make it a little bit easier. Okay, and then you just hold it all in place and then twist it back around and push it down. And there you go. Just so I'd show you that. Okay, so twist, push it down. You haven't got to take it all the way out if you wanted to, it's up to you. Put the tension on the key and then push it back up all the way and turn it, and that's it. A little bit more just to add on. Cheers.